native panther, I'm a fight to be equal. So I'm the hip-hop with the buffalo, it's to my people. You trying to go against me, you gon' lose yourself. That's like planning your own funeral, suit yourself. Look, got a few betting against me, I must be new to y'all. So every dime that you put up, you bout to lose it all. Never mind that, moving on, cause even if you only bet a penny, everything in me gotta prove you wrong. You can't deny the talent even if you hate it, boy. You can't neglect, I'm the ticket, you gotta pay it, boy. Don't just think it, you need to say it, boy. I'm Secret Santa, bringing all my gifts to the world. I'm here to slay it, boy. You grinding on your own time, I every day it. When it come down to the scales, I just outweigh them. Cause all my songs is crazy, I bet I repertoire. No, all my songs is crazy, it's in my repertoire. They tell a story while you listen in your moving car. All my lyrics take you there, it ain't uber hard. When you blessed with the gift of gab that you can lyrically admit you have. Woo. Damn, I'm on a mission, ain't no aborting, I'm in it now. These other rappers can't see me, lyrics be tinted now. They pretending they can get with it, how? Knowing every time I bring the heat to the pot, boy, they simmer down. Paris Rose, man. High off life, Savage fam. Quick and Halo Mob. Let's get it.
True Hop Radio.
Now rocking with Prime Time on True Hop Radio.
Yeah, alright y'all, we're about halfway through this thing. We're scrolling and coming across some interesting little stories. One in particular, I'm going to start off with this one because this one is the most important. So, for those who might not know, there have been certain folks back in New York City, like KRS-One, with this whole Temple of Hip Hop movement, and some other pioneers and early hip hop artists and things like that. So, the Hip Hop Museum is going to be heading to the Bronx, and it's also going to be infused with $3.7 million from the state of New York, which really shocks me. Really does shock me. There's probably a lot of money, way more than $3.7 million that the state of New York makes just behind tourism coming into the city of New York, behind hip hop and the culture of hip hop. But story basically goes, and this is on Variety.com, that New York Governor Andrew Cuomo signed off on a measure that will contribute $3.7 million to the Bronx's first hip hop museum that was announced on Thursday. The funding is part of a statewide New York economic and community development package. Dubbed the Universal Hip Hop Museum, the effort was chartered by the New York State Department of Education, Board of Regents, to document, preserve, and celebrate global hip hop music. The executive team championed the project, along with the state of New York, include Executive Director Rocky Bucano, Public Enemy's Chuck D, and Curtis Blow, who serve as board chairman, and cultural ambassadors Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J, Grandmaster Flash, and Fab Five Freddy, all of whom spent their formative years in the New York City. They say in the New York City borough, but in the New York City boroughs is what it should really say. We've been at this dream for about 6 years now, Curtis Blow said in an interview on local television. We have about 30 to 35 people sacrificing and donating their time to make this dream a reality. We're getting close. Our mission is to use technology of today to tell the story of the history of hip-hop. We're talking avatars and holograms and virtual reality. And another thing is interaction with the kids. This is really fucking awesome right here, and I'm glad to see this. They're saying that construction of the museum is planned to start in the summer of 2020, so about 6 months or so they'll start on construction, and that'll run for 3 years to 2023. In the meantime, it's operating as a pop-up exhibit located in the Bronx Terminal Market, ahead of being moved to the Bronx Point, which is located off of the Major Deegan Expressway. So, anybody in New York City area, of course, you can go up there to Bronx Terminal Market and you can see the little pop-up exhibit. But anybody that's thinking about maybe in the next couple of years taking a trip to New York City, definitely make sure that you swing by up there to the BX, man, and go ahead and patronize that museum, because that's very important for our culture. We need to be seen as being able to have these things and maintain these things, man. Because that's what's going to keep, like the governor of the state of New York, whoever happens to be at that time, that's going to keep them recognizing and understanding that preserving and acknowledging hip-hop culture is definitely something to do. What else we got going on? We got Young Buck. The homie Young Buck has been arrested and held without bond in Tennessee. Last week, Young Buck was arrested in Cheatham County, Tennessee on a Georgia warrant. He was taken into custody on a felony fugitive from justice. He was taken on custody. A felony fugitive of justice warrant on December 20th was issued, but the warrant was issued by Georgia. Sources say that the extradition warrant was issued by Newton County for child abandonment. It was also revealed that he's not eligible for bond and his court date will not be until May 7th of 2020. Wow, that's crazy. So basically, he's probably not going to get a chance to bail himself out or be bailed out, and he's going to have to basically sit up in a county jail for about 5 months, all the way up until May 7th before his court date. Damn. So what happened was he was reportedly arrested after a police officer pulled over the driver of a Ford F-150 for talking on a cell phone and driving. Buck was a passenger in the vehicle, and the cop claimed that he smelled marijuana in the car. Buck confessed to having a joint on him, and after searching the car, officers found 3 grams of weed. They didn't hit him with the possession of marijuana charge because he was cooperative, they said, and everything like that. Gotta do better, man. You know what I'm saying? I smoke marijuana. I don't have anything against anybody else who does, but we gotta be smarter about what we're doing, particularly if we're gonna be doing it in states where it's not legal, recreationally or anything like that. You can't have the guy who's driving the car that you're in. He's driving around talking with a cell phone up to the side of his head, because of course that's gonna bring eyes. I mean, they're already looking for you anyway. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're a brown man. You're in a nice vehicle. You know what I'm saying? They're already looking to pull you over for any goddamn thing anyway. But you dudes, you got a guy driving a car on a cell phone while you sitting up blowing trees. It's just crazy. Another story that we got up here is about the homie Juicy J. Give me a second. I just want to make sure I got this next beat ready so that we can keep rolling through nice and smooth. Yeah, Juicy J, he basically apologized to some fans, to his fans, because he's saying that basically he apologized if he inspired or had anything to do with inspiring their drug usage. This is all, of course, in the wake of Juice WRLD. Any of y'all that you read hip-hop publications or you like to look at interviews and things like that, everybody has had something to say. Not that they shouldn't have anything to say, but basically, since the death of Juice WRLD, this is the article now on source.com. Since the death of Juice WRLD, there's been a line of rappers who are denouncing the use. Trippie Redd said that we're off that. Smoke Perp detailed how the use of lean was causing them to gain weight. And Joyner Lucas straight up said hip-hop is to blame for the death of the young star Juice WRLD. Juicy J took a different approach and apologized for any part he played in the popularizing drugs. If I inspired anybody to do drugs, I apologize, Juicy J said. He said this on Twitter. Definitely think it was a very, very mature and a good thing for him to do, because it's not that people don't have free will, you know what I'm saying, and that people are like, they're just like zombies. You tell them what to do and they're going to do it. But I will say that this culture and what we talk about on this microphone definitely has a lot of influence, particularly on young people and the type of things that they think are acceptable. Maybe not necessarily what they do, but things that they think are acceptable to do. So I definitely want to salute the General Juicy J for stepping up and taking ownership of that right there. Another story right here. That's and this one, right, I'm not really surprised, because to me she's a coon anyway. As the homie Tariq Nasheed would say, she a bed wench, or she a wannabe bed wench, because every time I see this woman in an interview and she's talking to a white man, or she get around a white man, there's cameras around her, she's always flirting with these niggas, talking about fucking them. And I mean, hey, joke's a joke, she's a comedian, but you know what I'm saying, when you basically got the same joke that you're spitting all of the time, you know what I mean, there's something edible about that, you know what I mean, something subliminal about that right there. But anyway, so she was defending Blueface for basically making it rain on the homeless down at Skid Row. So if you're not aware of this, I'm not sure exactly where he was. I think it might have been in California, but Juice WRLD, basically he went out to where there's a lot of homeless folks living out on the street. He got up on top of his SUV, and the dude pulled out wads of cash, stacks of cash, and started making it rain. I don't dig that. I mean, your heart is in the right place if you want to give. I feel you, but I don't dig it because these are desperate people in desperate situations. And when money is falling around all over the place and everybody is grabbing for the same bill, you know what I mean? There's a real opportunity for things to get ugly and for bad things to happen behind people fighting over that money. You know, I personally think it would have been a lot more classy, a lot more efficient, and just much a better look if he had maybe been handing the money to people directly into their hands, or even if he would have, like this article suggests, that if he would have, you know, maybe had like his group, you know how everybody got their people in show business, you know, have them, his manager and all of these cats, try to set up some type of a charity event for those homeless and downtrodden folks. But this is also on the source. Tiffany Haddish said she didn't see something wrong with it. In a quick interview with TMZ, the comedian said critics couldn't understand because they don't come from the same background as the rapper. Those people who say it's dehumanizing or degrading haven't lived in the hood, Haddish said. I'm from South Central Los Angeles. I've been around a lot of gangbangers, dope dealers, things like that for my entire life. I've known a lot of men with money that are affiliated to jump on top of their best vehicle and make it rain on everybody. It's not unusual. Actually, from my experience, it's traditional. I am from South Central, but I'm from New York City. You know what I'm saying? I was born in Coney Island, in the projects. You know, I've lived in Southside Jamaica, Queens. I've lived in East New York. I've lived up in the South Bronx, you know what I'm saying? So I've definitely, and I was born in 77, so I grew up during the crack era. So I have definitely, you know, been around the type of environments where you got niggas with wads of cash that might decide they want to make it rain. What I know over shit like that, I know about drug dealers doing things like, you know what I'm saying, it's Thanksgiving or Christmas and shit like that. You know, they give out turkeys. That's how they show love and they give back. You know what I'm saying? They don't fling money and throw money in people's faces. That's behavior that niggas do in strip clubs. Now, we could definitely get into how degrading that is for the strippers, but, you know, that's another conversation. Right now, what I'm talking about is people who have nothing, and you coming up there and you just flinging money out in their faces, probably inspiring arguments and confrontations, people fighting over the money that's falling. I totally disagree with Tiffany. I've definitely felt for a while that her heart ain't necessarily in the right place when it comes to us. But anyway, moving right along. Last little story. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and get back to the music. This story is about John B. For some of y'all might not remember, John B is a R&B artist, white man R&B artist and everything like that. And he's coming under fire for some comments that he made in the little interview that he did. This story is also on source.com about Beyonce. He said John B is under fire for comments he made about a then 16-year-old Beyonce in a resurfaced interview. My first major tour was with Destiny's Child as the opening act for me and Jagged Edge as the opening act, he said. So we're all label mates and we're all going to the radio station to promote our records together, all as a unit. I love that because we don't do that anymore. You think about it. It was Beyonce in the beginning of her career, so I'm looking at like a 16, 17-year-old girl, just like wide-eyed and open mouth, he said, and he laughed. He continued laughing, knowing how crazy it sounded. I'm sorry, but because I'm a grown man at the time, it's kind of wrong, but you know, you already know. That's basically what he said. I think in light of the whole Me Too movement and all of the shit that's going on today in the press, I don't think that we should be very surprised when it comes to Hollywood and the entertainment industry and young people, young ladies in particular being getting the wrong type of attention from people that they shouldn't be getting it from, like grown ass men. It's a good thing that you're not at the height of your career. You ain't really popping right now, John B, because in today's climate, motherfuckers will eat you alive for that shit. But anyway, like I said, I'm not going to talk you guys to death. I got about 45 minutes or more hot music for you guys. New shit, classics, true hop, you know what I'm saying? Again, make sure that you give me the follow right now if you haven't done it already on Spreaker.com. Let me also get that follow going on Instagram or Twitter. I am Forever Prime, number 4 EVA PRIME. Also, I got the YouTube channel popping off right now, so go on ahead and go over to YouTube and subscribe. You can search for me by the name of the show, Saturday Night Special, Planet Brooklyn, True Hop Radio,